I highly recommend you all to play this gacha game that I will mention, because we have a lot of reasons why this game are really worth playing. By the gameplay, the visual, character design, and also how the game is free to play friendly. Remember to like this video and please enjoy the video of Top 10 Best Gacha Games of 2025 for mobile, autoplay, AFK Game RPG Android and iOS 2025. Flowers in the Mirror. What a great game. I love when I have a gacha game and the developer giving the newbie players a high tier hero which is SSR rank. So in the earliest game we will have a great chance to clear the stage much easier. As a turn-based game, we can play it automatically and also speed up the game 5 times faster. Can you imagine how fast we can speed up the progress? There are so many cutscenes we will see while we are finishing the storyline, but of course it's skippable. There are 4 slots of heroes available to deploy and we can turn the camera perspective into 360 degrees. Of course, it's a great way to see the entire heroes from a different angle. Every hero will have 3 main action, passive, basic attack and also skills. Try to maintain the energy to release the skill. There is one main support we can call in to give an array of effect range. As a gacha game, it's quite easy to play because the auto features really help us to keep playing it to unleash the skill whenever it's ready. Monuments. Let me tell you something and you should listen it carefully, because this game is one of the most worthy gacha game on mobile right now, and even it's available on mobile as a global release. The game's visual really remind me of a Reverse 1999. I'm pretty sure you will have the same experience as me. Especially the game's combat visual are really authentic and familiar. The game's combat mechanism is fully manual, which is mean no autoplay at all. Every time the new turn goes on, then we will recharge plus 5 points of the gauge meter for every single hero. By the way, all of the heroes will represent 1 whole bar point as the indicator of the team's HP. So when our hero has a recovery skill or some buff skill, then the entire team will get it. I really love how the game visual are really attractive, especially the ultimate skill one. Unfortunately, the game needs a voiceover to represent the hero's characteristic, because they have a very attractive appearance. The whole game's background is set in a dark fantasy theme. The music and also the storyline blend perfectly. Monuments is the best gacha game RPG on Android and iOS 2025. Different Dimension Lord. If you love to play an idle game RPG with a gacha base, of course you should try it. It has a 100% autoplay once you tap the auto icon. The basic skill, ultimate, and also all of the heroes will lock the target randomly. Even the level difficulty is quite easy. Unfortunately, the developer are giving a higher rate gacha to obtain SSR hero. I have tried several summon, but I only get SR hero. The game should be able to increase the graphic setting because it's quite blurry. And also I realized if the ultimate skill should have a special scenes. There are so many things the developers should optimize before the game launches globally. The entire storyline can be skipped and get directly into the mission. So we can quickly finish the battle. Anyway, we'll not have a male characters. Everyone is female with a very good shape and beautiful appearance. Hopefully the voiceover will show up, so as a player we can imagine how the hero's characteristic is. Dragon Soul Traveler or Soul of Dragon. This is a must-play AFK game gacha on mobile. I realize how the game will break the game's market through this kind of game because the fan who's loving the idle RPG is really huge. No wonder the game has downloaded over 100,000 within a few days in China. This number indicates how the hype will push the player to play. Hopefully the developer will release the game to globally very soon. This is no pay-to-win gacha game at all. At the beginning, we'll get 2 of 5 stars heroes that are given by the developer 3 male gift. Male and female characters are available to be picked. Most of the stages will have more than 1 wave, which means we should always try to manage the energy of each hero to unleash their skill at the right timing. Dragging the skill and lock at different heroes is possible to do. The energy will recharge over time. Anchor Panic. This game will be my priority to play once the game releases globally. I love everything about it. The visual skill is pretty insane. The graphic looks so amazing and also characters voiceover seems so adorable. It's quite a newbie friendly because the main gameplay will let the player play it casually. Just imagine all of the heroes will attack by themselves and lock the enemies randomly. We only need to tap a single button to unleash the regular skill. It will trigger to build up the energy before you are able to unleash the ultimate skill. As I mentioned before, I guarantee you will easily fall in love with the visualization of the skill showcase. It will represent a dynamic effect and a high attention to detail. I would declare if the developer tried to make the game become no pay-to-win gacha game, because we will get 1 free SSR hero on our first roll, and a bunch of SR heroes will get easier. There are so many daily dungeons we can participate with, and of course it will grant your hero status point, and at the end will raise your combat power. Seven Knights Rebirth. I will all in on this game, have been waiting for it for such a long time, and finally the developer did the best by redesigning the character model based on the player feedback. So all of the heroes now will not have any chibi character looks. The head size will be adjusted to create a proportional shape. Of course, this game will give a new game experience to the fans of Seven Knights. The game's combat mechanism will let the player deploy up to 5 heroes as a team. The mechanism is quite simple. Each of the heroes will have 2 main actions, the skill and also the regular one, but most of the skill will have a long cooldown time, even more than 50 seconds. As a turn-based game system, of course this number is pretty long, but it's a good way to maintain the skill when the player needs to unleash it to a specific enemy. There are so many daily dungeons that will be available, like we can face the world boss, tower dungeon to reach the highest floor, and earn better rewards. The visualization is the next level, especially on the storyline. No wonder the game was made by the most powerful engine game, which is Unreal Engine 5. Even the skill showcase will easily attract you then. OZ Rewrite. This game is really good to play while you are doing another activity, because it's kind of an idle game where we don't have to think about the strategy. AFK is the main base. We need to tap the ultimate skill once the gauge meter has filled up. It will recharge when we successfully land a hit. The skill will show us a special scenes. Even though it is kind of an idle game, we'll find so many story scenes and we are able to select a different answer, and surely it will affect a different storyline. With a cute character voiceover will make your imagination reach the characteristic of each hero. When I set the graphic setting, I was surprised if the game is able to set into 120 FPS. Of course, it will make your gaming experience into the next level. Play the game in idle RPG mode and let the team clear the entire waves easier. For the first gacha, I got the legendary hero, which is the 3 stars. It's a guarantee by the developer. I have a feeling OZ Rewrite will become the most played AFK game gacha in 2025. Chasing Kalo Rider. I never expected this idea to come up to a game. Just imagine, we will all control the hero in the turn-based RPG, but all of the gameplay will do it while riding a vehicle. It's pretty insane how the movement really represents the actual gameplay. The camera perspective will be my highlight, how we will play in a third-person perspective and also side view. From this angle, the vehicle and also the hero will have a better visual in detail. The combat mechanism seems so simple. All of the heroes will have a team's gauge meter and it will build up over time. The card skill will show up randomly on each turn. Adjusting the skill based on the energy you have will be really important to kill the monster. Most of the bosses have a huge size than our hero. That reminds me of the game Final Fantasy series. I noticed all of the heroes are female with an anime art style, making the game look interesting. Chasing Kalo Rider is a gacha based game to get heroes and also some rare items. What a great new gacha game that we will have then. Memento White Shadow. Finally, I will give one game that has a huge open world base, but the combat is playable auto-play. Unfortunately, when you play the game auto, that means the combat will not optimize rather than we play the game manually. Because if you play manually, then you can manage the hero's level and stack the level skill into level 3. The higher the level you can make, the higher damage dealing will become. As an open world game, we can get a high quality hero through gacha and also other equipment. But of course, you can play the game freely without spending any penny by clearing the main quest. I love how the world can be explored by riding a horse. You will see the beautiful scenery of the panorama, green landscape, and also the weather will be changing into day and also night. Right now, the game has announced if it will launch globally. The beta testing with an English version is on development now, so we can pre-register it. But I will warn you, if this game needs a high point spec to run the game, once you set the graphic into maximum, then you will feel the heat, laggy, and unstable gameplay after. Final Shinobi Ultimate Shadow. Until now, we never seen any official Naruto game that has an idle game, but we are so lucky because most of AFK Game Naruto was made by an indie games developer, which is we should appreciate their hard work to make it happen. I really love how we get a guarantee of a 5-star heroes at the first pull of 10 summons. There are so many stages available when we clear the stage, but the main goal is not only finishing the campaign mode, but the PvP features will be one of the most interesting part because the level of the enemy will be much different with a higher power. In the game, we don't have to touch any single button, every action will do it automatically. All of the hero skills are pretty similar to the actual anime, which is quite detailed. Right now, I would say if you should not spend any penny to raise your combat power, because I'm worried if this game will suddenly disappear from the Play Store. Bonus, Etheria Restart. We need to wait for a little more time to see this game released globally because it has an English version already. If you love to play a hotkey Star Rail game like that, then this game is the best one to play. It has similarities like we should explore the world based on the storyline and accept the main mission to unlock the new story. Along the journey, we'll find so many cutscenes to deliver the conversation with a cinematic visual. The combat mechanism is super easy to learn. It has the same mechanism as the other mobile turn-based game genres. These all are the best new gacha game on mobile 2025. I have been combining the game that has been released globally and also the game will be coming up on mobile in a few days or months, so my subscribers will get an update. Remember to like this video and see you on the next list. Thanks.